Oh, there we are. I didn't even have time to make a thumbnail, folks. This is really, really important. And I can't stay on late. Didn't even have time to make a thumbnail. Just had to get on the air immediately. Something's getting ready to go down on this case, in my opinion. I'll make the thumbnail later while I'm in bed. Something big's going down. And since I still have 3 hours left in June to bring up my totals, it doesn't hurt for me. But this is more about Nancy and justice for Nancy. Hey, Jane. Let's just see how many people can come in. Like I said, no thumbnail. That probably will hurt the video. I'll have to do it later. But there wasn't time. I just had to make a title and put a background up and go. And like everybody else that's reporting this right now, I can't confirm any of this. But if this is right, this goes to everything that I have been saying from day one, if this is correct. Kathy, welcome in. Julie, welcome in. Let's get a few more people in here. I already did my live for the day, but I told you, I always charge my mics right away because you never know, something might break, and something's breaking right now, like within the last hour. Hey, thanks for coming back, Kensley and Nanette. Ocean Wind, welcome in. Sandy P. Just let me get a few more people in here. I'll do the thumbnail later. I'm sorry there wasn't time. Brian Enton is also reporting this, but he's saying that he can't confirm the source yet. So he's not 100%, and I'm not 100%. Hey, Lynn. Hey, Rita. But it's starting to break, and it's on the AP. But still, until I know that it's 1,000% sure, this is only a maybe. But it is breaking news regarding the Nancy Guthrie case. Things are starting to happen. Let's get a few more people in. Well, I say it's allegedly, but there are many organizations, many news agencies are reporting this. But unless the FBI told it to me directly, until I hear it come out of their mouths, I can't say it's 100%. I think something is getting ready to go down. Remember, Kelsa's trial is on the 2nd. Let's get a few more people in. This is April Davis, PI. I'm a licensed California private investigator. I've been reporting on the Nancy Guthrie kidnapping case since February 2nd, 2026. And you know, from the beginning, I was very hesitant to call this case a kidnapping. I was very hesitant to believe the ransom notes. I said it's one thing or the other, revenge or money. Kidnappers don't spend 41 minutes at a house. Kidnappers don't send ransom notes to TMZ. There is a report that is on the AP tonight, like right now. If you don't believe me, when you get off this video, go look it up. There is a report that someone within the FBI told a source that leaked it to the news tonight. This is just going down tonight. That all ransom notes involved in this case are fake. I can't say it 100%, but this is what's coming across the newswire tonight. We will see how it shakes down. But if that's true, considering that the writer of the first ransom note knew exactly where in the house to find the white Apple Watch, specifically on the bedroom floor, then whoever wrote these fake notes had direct knowledge of the crime. And in my opinion, that would then make the notes red herrings, and that she wasn't taken for ransom. She was taken and unalived, and all these weird ransoms, especially the second one who says that she's no longer with us, that may have been written by a woman, is all starting to add up. If this is true, allegedly, reportedly, speculatively, we know that the Derek Kelsa text notes were fake. We know that he surrendered when the FBI came to his door and he was going to plead guilty. Supposedly his plea of guilty has changed. We will find this out on July 2nd when he goes to his court appearance in Tucson. Okay? I've heard that they've already got him in Tucson and he's got like an ankle bracelet or something, so he doesn't run. Okay? This cannot be 100% proven, but I looked and it is coming across the news wires. But I also saw a short video that Brian Enton made, and I'm not sure what time of the day or night that he made that video, saying that he can't confirm the source. Hey, Joe Wells, you never know. Love you, April. I love all of you. Nanette says, I just heard it minutes ago, allegedly, of course. It is alleged. It's speculative. It's a maybe in my book. So just remember that when you see this, all these YouTubers and all these, news stations, including mainstream channels that start reporting this tonight, remember it's speculative. Hey, Justin. Hello, Sydney from Fresno, California. One of my California homies. Welcome in. July, welcome in. So this could be true. If it is, it makes everything that I have told you since I started reporting on this case since February 2nd. And that's before we even knew that ransom notes existed. We didn't know about those until the 3rd. I said, this is one thing or another. And then all this information came out about Front Porch Guy. And, this is what time he compromised the doorbell. And this is what time her heart pacer unsynced from her devices. And then this death later came out on Friday that the family got on the 6th, or well, actually a news agency got it on the 6th. And then Savannah made her big statement on the 7th, begging, for the mother's body back without saying that, but that's what she was saying. This changes everything, okay? And this could be, this is going down a deep, dark rabbit hole here, but this could be why Savannah made a ringy-dingy-dingy phone call to Mark Kelly for damage control. Because remember, right early Monday morning, he was at the sheriff's station with donuts and coffee, already pushing this case in a direction. Is Savannah living in a dream world? We've talked about this before. I hope that this is true, that these are fake, because then it shows me that they were red herrings and that it was meant as an unaliving for money from the very start. Julie Sigworth, thank you for the thumbs up for the first jewel of the night. Thank you. I'm not going to stay on here long. In fact, I was thinking of not taking my meds yet because I can't take my blood pressure meds till 10 my time, but I was thinking of laying down and going to bed early. And then all this started breaking. I was just sitting at my desk trying to do a puzzle, just like, let's start thinking about what tomorrow's video is going to be about. And then all these notifications started coming. I didn't have time to grab a new drink. I changed my hat and that was about it. I didn't even touch up my makeup, nothing. Vima said she went to bed around 8:30, just woke up. Yeah, there's a lot of breaking news. I haven't even had time to do a thumbnail. Now, I listen to me, people. Everybody is innocent until proven guilty, and I can't prove this. But supposedly someone within the FBI who is familiar with this case did leak this information to someone in the press. And it went across the wire, and everybody's running with it. V-Miss, they're saying that the FBI has confirmed that all ransom notes, all 3 sets of ransom notes, including the first 2 for ransom, that they're all fake. And if that's true, considering that the person who wrote the first ransom knew the exact location of the Apple Watch, and it wasn't just a shot in the dark, but they knew very specific things about the crime scene, then they're red herrings and they're covering for what really happened. They were sent as a distraction. But I can't prove, even though this is all over the news right now, this is everywhere. No politics, Bobby. Got to take you out. Have a good night. If this is true, then that would confirm all the things that I have been telling you since day one. Yeah, a lot of people, this is just coming out now, July. Maybe within the last hour, but I can't prove that it's true. It did leak that the FBI has said that. Remember, Sheriff Nanos this weekend, he gave a statement on radio saying that the FBI has already arrested a number of people for fake ransoms. And I thought he just meant in general, like, if you pull a Derek Colella, you're going to get caught and you're going to get arrested. But apparently he meant that there's additional people involved in this that have already been arrested that the public is unaware of for sending fakes. Half hawk, half man. Federal investigators have confirmed that all ransom notes received in the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie, the 84-year-old mother of Today co-host Savannah Guthrie, are fake. That is what is being reported. Now, can I swear on a Bible? Cross my heart, hope to die, stick a needle in my eye, that it's true? That's what's being reported. If it is true, and this is not just some bogus leak, if this is really true, then you need to go back and you need to watch the entire crime series. I don't care if it takes you until next Christmas time to rewatch all those videos, and you'll see a pattern forming. Now, does it change my mind about the yahoos, the goons? Not at all. Absolutely not. But they're hired goons. And if it's true, what's being reported tonight, then this was all a setup from the beginning to cover what really has happened here. Absolutely, Nanette, could be a big cover-up. I have not seen the JLR video yet. Is he doing a video now? I haven't seen it yet. I'm sure he's reporting this. I'm reporting this. But I'm not saying it's 100% true. I'm just saying that this is on the newswire. But I did see a Brian Enton short and I don't know what time that was recorded, but it was, today, where he was responding to it, saying that, he can't confirm the information in so many words. So I'm just saying that's what's been reported. That's why I had to get on the air quickly. That's why I didn't have time to make a thumbnail yet. I will make a thumbnail probably later tonight while I'm lying down in my bed. And I'll put it up with the video. And I'm sure I'd get more views right now if I already had it. But for me, time was of the essence to get this across to my audience, that this is what is being reported right now as I tell you this. I guess that's why Savannah never paid. My mind is racing now. I'd rather be wrong than to say I told you so. Because if I've been right from the beginning, who are all the players involved in this and why, and it turns out to be true, then my heart is completely smashed. And Savannah shall never get over it if this is what it could be. I told you from day one that this is not a typical kidnapping. It's not a burglary, a robbery, a home invasion, a wrong house. The house was found in immaculate condition. She obviously fought at the front door and bled. as she was dragged away to her death. They wanted it to look like a kidnapping from the beginning, and that's why they didn't just go into the house and take her out right then and there, because, you know, it's a lot to take a body with you, especially a living body, someone who's trying to fight back. If this is what it could be, then it's despicable. Because none of the notes demanding ransom or providing updates on her status are genuine, investigators are forced to rethink the initial belief that she was abducted solely for a financial ransom. I never thought at first that that's what it was. And then all these ransom notes started coming in, and I was still like, they could be red herrings, or they could just be some fake person trying to get money. But a fake person just trying to get money wouldn't know the exact location of the Apple Watch. And maybe something's going to break on the 2nd with this Derek Kelsa thing. A lot's going on, Jay. This is breaking news. VMIS says, yes, JLR is live about this. I saw you were too, and this is my choice. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't seen JLR's, but I would like to watch that just because he's been following this too. The notes, supposedly, Jay, an FBI source leaked to a news agency that all ransom notes in this case, all of them, including the first one for ransom, the second one about her death, the text notes from Derek Kelsa, and all the notes sent to TMZ, that every single one of them is fake. And if it's proven to be true, considering that some of those ransom notes knew very detailed things that only somebody involved in this could know, they were all red herrings, and this was all a setup to make it look like it was something that it wasn't. And I've said this from day one. The kidnappings, they don't work this way. And, you know, I'm not an expert in kidnapping cases, but I have been in the PI industry for 42 years. I started in 84. I got licensed in 92. I worked full-time for 35 years until I had to stop due to my breast cancer treatment. I've never closed my business, although I'm mostly retired, but I still have it. You know, you can't kill me yet, breast cancer, even with my heart that is not ticking right as I speak to you right now. You know, I still have my mental faculties here. I still can think. And this is not how kidnappings work. DNA from a pair of gloves found 2 miles away was run through National CODIS database, but it yielded no matches. You know, half hawk, half man, there were a lot of gloves that have been found in this case. Have you ever thought that TMZ had anything to do with it? No, just to get attention for their own company since it has been lagging so much. Nope. I just heard this on quite a few vlogs. Yeah, I'm just hearing this now because, you know, I decided to cook dinner and watch the ball game. I took a few-hour break from this, and everything changed. That's why when I go off my live, the first thing I do is plug in my mics to get them charged. Now, I do have to do the thumbnail. I probably would get more views right now had I done so before I came on the air. But in another 45 minutes, I got to go take my night meds and then lay down. So this is what's being reported, as Jewel Giacana just typed into the chat. In all caps, all ransom notes are fake. I can't say that it's 100% true. I can't even say that it's 50% true. But that is what is going across the news wire tonight. And it's spreading like a wildfire. Truth. Sheriff Chris Nanos has asked private search groups and volunteer groups such as the United Cajun Navy to stay away from the active search grids to give official forensic teams physical space to work. VMIS 5, and let me guess, somebody asked that. I think somebody brought that up, like, where's Nanos? I don't know. Nanos still isn't coming out with a press conference. Bizarre. Understanding it was straight up family murder. They're not saying that. Thank you, Nanette. This is my choice to watch. I appreciate that, Nanette, my friend. Yes, VMIS. Okay, I didn't see that yet, but thank you for putting that in the chat. She says, yeah, so on X, there are a lot of people saying this is the beginning of a breakthrough. You know what? Last night, I almost had a good cry over this. And I said, was it Sunday night I said this? It was either Sunday night or last night. I said, I think this week something could finally break, even with a holiday coming. I'm getting emotional now. Ugh. TC hungry. No. Hold on. Wrong person. I don't want to accidentally take out the wrong person. And I'd rather be wrong. I'd rather that this information be bogus that we're hearing now, and that everything that I've told you for the last 150 days is wrong, and it's just some random lone wolf, who got lucky, as the FBI agent told me, who I consulted with. And I said, absolutely not. I don't want to be right and go, ha, 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 I told you so, and see Savannah's heart busted into a billion effing pieces. Yeah, I was watching baseball too, but I stopped because things started popping up on my phone, and I was like, what's happened? Anybody know the Dodgers score? It's Oakland. I'm sure they're winning. Like I said, I can't prove it, but this is going across the wire. So I hope that answers your question, Jay, because I know some of you are just coming in. I know it's several hours later where a lot of you are. I appreciate you coming in at this time of the night. I know, Nanette. It breaks my heart. If the family is involved, and that's a big if. Remember, everybody on my station or my YouTube channel is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. But if the family is involved, Savannah Guthrie will never be the same. I've said that from the first day. I was watching the Dodgers and the A's, even though the A's really have no home, which makes me sad. And I don't want them going to Vegas. They should put an expansion team in that stadium that they're building for them. They should be building a stadium for the A's, but not in Las Vegas, not in the middle of the desert. Remember, I was a Bay Area baby. So even Brian Enton came on. I just saw his short, and he's like, I can't prove what I'm hearing. Thank you, Lynn. Is the game still going? Dodgers 9, A's 3. I know Robleski is pitching. It's okay, baby. Come here. Come here. Come see everybody. That's Kelsa. She's a talker, especially at night. Just when the rest of the house is like, well, when I'm trying to get ready to just chill for the night, that's when the bunny wakes up and the cat starts screaming until sunrise. Yeah, thank you for that, Lynn. Oh, here she is. Come here. Oh, come here. Come here. She jumped, but yet she doesn't want me to pick her up. But she jumped on me. Come here. Come here. Do you have your food? Do you need food? You need some wet food? Okay, I'm going to get wet food for 30 seconds. You guys talk amongst yourselves. Let me get it. It's right here. Let me find it. Where's your open can? Yeah, I don't want to open up a new one. Now I got to get a spoon. Everybody's waiting for Mama. But here it is. And then, Bunny, she's going to be looking at me. And she's going to have those begging, like I'm dying, starving kind of eyes. There we go. Okay, go get it. Better eat it. Yep, you can eat it. Now she's following me. Oh, no, it wasn't that. Jay says she's not seeing anything on the news. Lynn says game over. No PI stories tonight. Look who's behind me. She's going to step on my back. Come here. Come here. Let me show you to everybody. I know you don't like to be picked up. Come here. Just calm down. What is going on? We'll play once we get into bed. Mommy will play with the laser toy. Dave Roberts, quickest to reach 1,000 wins. I heard that was going to happen tonight. Who says Nanos is coming on? Why doesn't the FBI do a press conference in this case? Because nobody's been arrested yet. She's already eaten. Go eat your food. Oh, now she's going to chase the bunny. This is not a good time for this to happen, people, when something is breaking after 150 days. She is gorgeous, but she's a handful. I'm used to boy kitties, Nanette. And she's a girl kitty, and she's an absolute handful, but I adore her. But I don't want her to, like, injure the bunny, so let me go get her. Come on. You want to play? Where's the toy? Where is it? Is it here? Can you see it right here? It's here. Okay, I got to pick you up for just a moment. I got to put you in the timeout. Stay right here. Here's that. Here's your toy. Poor bunny. She's evil sometimes. She's like, if you're not going to do exactly what I want right effing now, I'm going to go chase the bunny. And last week that happened, and the bunny ripped a dew claw. And it was a very bad scene. Thank you, Lynn Broad, for putting her emoji, the Kelsa emoji. I don't think it is half hawk, half man, especially if this latest development is true and they know. If they know they're fake, then they probably know who wrote them. I think they're very, very close. If we are to believe this information that came out tonight, that they're all faked and there was no kidnapping, they know something. And Annette says, oh, so cute. I had a kitty, a female kitty, and she was a handful. Yes, ma'am. I don't think they would do a press conference at this time of the night. And remember, this was a leak. This wasn't the FBI coming out and saying, we have an announcement. This was a leak. This was somebody within the FBI that has firsthand knowledge of this case that leaked it to someone in the press. And we're not saying that, Unchained Melody. We're not saying anybody here is guilty or has been arrested yet. But everybody can put in the chat what they think. You know, more than 80% of the population thinks what you just said. And Unchained Melody 7 said, I knew the family was involved, period. If the ransoms are AI generated, good luck. That something's happened, that they've determined something. Remember, Derek Kalala's trial is the second. Maybe somebody's come forward this week. The red flags are flying if this is a true leak. And I'd say if with a capital I, capital F. If. And I said it from the beginning. If it's true, Jay, you could maybe say that. That if it's not a kidnapping, that it could be an intentional, not unintentional, but intentional unaliving. Because I don't think the ransom notes then would just be people that were going after money. I think the ransom notes know too much. And the FBI said from the beginning, they told Savannah they thought they were real because the person knew the information about the broken strobe light and the location of the Apple Watch. And I originally heard the Apple Watch was found in the charger on the nightstand in the bedroom. Then the story changed that the Apple Watch was found like it was ripped off of her. It was on the floor. Maybe somebody put it there. Maybe this whole thing was staged, and that's why the place was so immaculate, because somebody had to clean up. But Was it the family in the mask? Absolutely not, if they're even involved. So we're not saying anything. I'm just saying that there's a report out tonight, and it's all over the news wire, that somebody has leaked from the FBI to the Associated Press that the FBI now states all ransom notes in the Nancy Guthrie case are fake. Have they made a press conference about it? No, it'd be 12:30 in the morning on the East Coast right now. I don't think they would make a press conference in the middle of the night when nobody's been arrested yet. But let me tell you, someone tonight, if this is true, even if it's not true, there's people right now that are involved with this that are in a pressure cooker going, oh my God. There's going to be a lot of sleepless people tonight. I'm sticking to my story and saying family is not involved, says Cali Girl on Fire. It's very possible. V Miss 5 says this confirms my suspicions that Nanos is covering something. Possibly. However, I cannot confirm that the FBI has said this just because it's on the wire tonight. Even Brian Hinton came out, and that's the first thing he said on his short. I can't confirm this, that all the notes are fake. Wonder if they just meant that the TMZ notes that were the third set of ransoms were fake. But whoever wrote them knew a lot of intimate details. Whoever did this crime at that property had intimate knowledge of the house, the alarms, the security systems, the lack thereof, the cameras, what was connected, what wasn't connected, what was working. Did she have infrared, inner, middle, outer, perimeter security? Did she have medical alerts? Did she have panic buttons? Were there cameras in there that were being monitored by other people's cell phones or monitors in somebody else's homes? Like somebody had intimate knowledge of the property, how to get around that property in the dark, how to get into that house, how to get out of that house, where everything was, and not make any kind of a mess? Like nobody even, took a swig of soda out of the refrigerator. Nothing. Nothing was touched. But they were there for 41 minutes. Why is that? I mean, I doubt she was carried out in a body bag or a tarp because of the oxygenated blood. But wonder if that report about the blood being oxygenated isn't true. She was over somebody's shoulder, in a tarp, and the blood was just dripping out. I don't know. Cali Girl on Fire, we said that. I'm sticking to my story and saying family is not involved. Maybe not. Half hawk, half man. Federal investigators determined that the emails and messages sent to media outlets like TMZ and local stations were simply fabricated, nothing more. Exactly. However, for someone to have faked those notes and to have information that only the perps would have tells me that they were written by somebody who's involved in this. Because they couldn't have just made a blind guess like that and been correct. That points towards red herrings. All of us awake until the news tomorrow. And they may not say anything tomorrow. Half the department could be out on holiday. And the ladder was used to break the floodlights and the cameras. Exactly. Thank you, Julie. And thank you for the people that sent the floating heart. That was you, Julie. Thank you. Oh, I don't think it's cold half hawk, half man because they're still waiting on DNA evidence. They're still going through 50,000 tips. They've somehow determined that they are fakes. How have they determined that? There's been other arrests. Nano said that over the weekend. The FBI has made multiple arrests regarding fake ransom notes. And I thought he just meant like, hey, if you're a faker and you write one of these fake notes, the FBI will catch you because they normally, arrest people for things like that. But apparently he meant this case. He already admitted that. Nanos admitted it over the radio this weekend that the FBI has made arrests over fake ransom notes. I'm telling you, in my gut, and I felt this since Sunday or Monday. The days are just like all mumble jumble to me now. Like I have to think every day, like, okay, what's the date today? What day is this? That this is just like a roller coaster that we haven't been able to get off of since the night of February 1st. And, in a few hours, in less than 3 hours, 2.5 hours here, it'll be July 1st. And I think a lot has happened in this case since Friday. And it's only Tuesday. There's been more to report the last few days than there has been for the last 3 months. Something is getting ready to break. If this is true, I don't want to have to say, I told you so. I'd rather say, oh my God, when they arrest somebody, I was totally surprised at this. I had no clue. I had no idea. Everybody that I thought was involved wasn't. I'm wrong. I'd rather to be that than for me to be right. And then find, Savannah is smashed into a billion pieces, her heart, more than it already is. Because if somebody close to her that Savannah knows is involved, Savannah will never get over this and she will blame herself. That's all I'm saying. I can't say that RC story on a public YouTube station. I just can't. Unchained Melody says 100% A&T. Welcome in, Stephs. Yeah, I'm not saying that. But I'm telling you, this has never been a typical kidnapping. If this was a kidnapping for ransom, this is the weirdest kidnapping for ransom in the history of crime. Because then where are the real ransom notes? Where are they? Why hasn't anybody legit that's involved demanded ransom? The first ransom note sent to media outlets in the Nancy Guthrie case didn't contain any specific private details. Oh, yes, they did. And that's why the FBI thought they were real from day one and told Savannah that they thought they were real. Don't know yet, RC story. But it does raise even more red flags than have already been raised. Can't you hear the red flags flapping in the wind right now in the desert? It's very loud. I can almost hear it to Los Angeles. The sound of the flags flapping in the desert wind. I don't think so, Bass Girl. So this, like I said, I have to report this because I told you earlier today, if anything breaks, I will go back on the air later tonight. I didn't think that I would have to. Doesn't mean that this is true, but this is what's being reported. RC story. I've heard the same red flags from day one. Yes, sir. Or ma'am. I don't know if are you a man or a girl? Cameron told Savannah Guthrie he thought could be a kidnapping. I think A&T set all this up, says Stephs. There was a rumor that the notes contained an accurate description of the exact outfit Nancy Guthrie was wearing the night she disappeared, but it was debunked. But the Apple Watch information and the ladder and the broken strobe light, that has not been debunked. Bass Girl. The specific location of her Apple Watch inside her bedroom also debunked. Don't know. Let's see what comes out of this later this week. Yeah, I do expect the deputies and the agents the special agents involved in this at the FBI to probably be taking a big holiday weekend because of the July 4th being on a weekend. And remember, when a federal holiday falls on a Saturday, it's officially celebrated, such as banks closing and the mail stopping the day before. If a federal holiday falls on a Sunday, then it's celebrated on a Monday. So I expect things to close early by Thursday, and it's already Tuesday night. Let's see what happens on the 2nd. Let's see what happens with the Derek Kalala case in Tucson, the federal case. Let's see. Hey, we may know something before that. It's only the night of the 30th. We may know something tomorrow, July 1st. Yeah, that's why I'm not confirming this, half hawk, half man. That's why everything is alleged. Even if there's an arrest made, it doesn't mean that that person is guilty until a court of law finds them guilty. Because sometimes the wrong people do get arrested and charged with crimes that they didn't commit. Not usually, but it does happen. There are people sitting in prison today that are innocent. Not a whole lot, but there's a small few. So yeah, I'm familiar. You don't have to tell me that, half hawk, half man. I wouldn't have made it this far in my career if I didn't know that. This is alleged, but this is coming across the wire. Is it true? Did somebody just plant this story? Who the F knows? But this is, the news is blowing up tonight. Rita Close says, I think the sheriff is involved too. KMG, this is kind of looking like someone had a vengeance against Savannah and really wanted to hurt her, or against Nancy herself. Or somebody needed her money. Remember, supposedly one of her church friends told somebody that Annie and Tommaso had asked for a loan that was in the 6-figure range. We can't confirm that any of that is true. But if it is true, that's a huge red flag. If he wasn't working all year, that's a red flag. They bought a $600 and some $1,000 house less than a year before this happened on money they didn't supposedly have. If that's true, it's a red flag. But are they involved? I'm not saying that. It's hilarious to me when you say, who the F? I don't want to say the real word because that slipped out a few times and I apologize. You'll have to rewatch. But thank you for coming in, Karen. There's too many people not taking money for this to be about money. We will see. Sherry, you'll have to rewatch. Remember, this is all alleged. They were, but they weren't, because they, the county, the Treasury for Pima County ended up backdating the payment to April 29th. Although on May 1st, they did report it as delinquent. But by the 4th, Monday the 4th, they had backdated it to April 28th or 29th. Allegedly, A&T bought a new vehicle. Maybe. Not usually half hawk, half man. Actually, it's quite the opposite. But I just might be the weird one in the bunch. Who doesn't collect on 1.2 million? That tells a lot, doesn't it? Nobody's claimed a reward. Well, I got a few more minutes to be on here. And then I'm going to go let the cat out of the timeout. I'm going to give the bunny a midnight snack before midnight. Go take my evening blood pressure meds at 10 and lay down. And we will see how this pans out. Remember, everything is alleged. Even though this is on the newswire right now that the FBI has said this to a confidential source who leaked it. And things do leak. It does happen. Things leak all the time into the press. I would never have released the crime scene. It was almost an indication that they wanted to compromise the evidence from the very beginning. You got to wonder how much Nanos might have already known about this and decided he needed to sway this in a different direction. Thanks, Phyllis. This is the second one. You'll have to go back. This is breaking news. I don't even have a thumbnail yet. I guess I'll do that tonight. After I take care of the cat and the bunny and the pills and lay down, I'll make the thumbnail for this. Absolutely, V-Miss. Number one mistake, releasing the crime scene. Absolutely. And the guilty parties may never be found guilty because of it. Hello, Renee. So I just had to go on the air quickly, let you know this. Remember, nothing has been proven yet. If this is true, I agree, Callie girl. The investigation takes a very sharp turn right here. But yes, the evidence was compromised from the beginning. Was he just a bonehead? Or was it intentional? Because this has been a cluster F. Red flags all over the place. Like I said, I can hear the flags flapping in the wind from Tucson right now, all the way to Los Angeles. Let's hope that something is going to break this week. Whether it's this or it's something else. Remember, Derek Kalala's federal trial is on Thursday. And he knows he's going to prison. So if you're going to sing like a bird, Derek, now's the time to do it. Before your trial starts at 8:30, probably 8:30. Most cases in LA always start at 8:30. So I would assume that Arizona's that way, but I don't know because I don't live in Arizona. But most trials start at 8:30 in the morning. Absolutely. Renee says, reminds me of the O.J. Simpson case and how the crime scene got compromised with the John Benet Ramsey case. Absolutely. And look how both of those turned out to be a train wreck. Nobody ever served time for either one of those crimes. Bad police work. That's a good question, V-Miss. Hey, will Annie and Tommaso have to be at Kalela's court date because they were the ones he texted? If they were subpoenaed, they would. Porch mat with blood sitting there drove me nuts. Yep. Now remember, this leak that went to the press tonight, we don't know that it's accurate until the FBI actually, takes the podium and says, yes, this is true. Because remember, Sheriff Nanos did say this weekend that the FBI has arrested multiple people for fake ransoms. There's more people that's been arrested in this than we are aware of at this moment. That's a good question, V-Miss. I agree. I suppose you could look up the federal records online and see if there's a copy of their subpoena in there. Unless the case could be sealed. Everything is a train wreck. Everything is a cluster F. Let's hope that I'm right. Let's hope that this is going to break the case wide open. Something's going to break this week. I just had a feeling, even though this is a holiday week, that something may break. And if sadly, if all those ransom notes are fake, then it really is not looking good for certain people right now. It just boils my blood. I know there's people that are sweating this out tonight. But, don't believe everything you hear on the internet. But this isn't the internet. This is the Associated Press. This is going to all the news agencies. But even Brian Hinton said the same thing I'm telling you. I can't prove it yet. And he's got more sources than I've got. Yes, I did say that. I believe I did. I haven't rewatched that whole video yet. Exactly, Jay. She said fake ransoms don't solve cases. But when you find out that they are fake and that the people that wrote them knew things that they couldn't possibly know, then you realize that they were red herrings and that you're not dealing with this, but you're dealing with that. Remember, I've always said from day one, this is not a typical kidnapping. I have fasted and prayed for Nancy to be returned home. Me too. I don't trust anything Nano says Phyllis. Either do I. I would just like him to spill the beans. But this didn't come from Nanos tonight. This came from a source connected to the FBI. Let's see. Let's see if this leak is true. Remember, ransom note number 2 was leaked on Friday. And then Nano started saying some strange things over the weekend. And now this is supposedly leaked. Something's getting ready to happen. I hope. Poor Savannah. This is terrible. Let's still find Nancy. Let's still keep this relevant, everybody. #justice for Nancy. Thank you for coming.